For today's video, we're going to be using the stacking cups. If you have your stacking cups, in a second I'm going to ask you to pause the video and go get them. If you don't have your stacking cups, any plastic cups will do. Of course, ask first. But any plastic cups that can fall around and maybe fall on the ground are fine. Again, ask first. So go ahead and pause your video, go get your stacking cups and some water, and then come on back. All right, let's get started. First thing we're going to do is just take out 3 stacking cups. Now our stacking cups have holes in the bottom so they can move very quickly without the friction of air, without anything stopping them. So I'm going to say just start with 3 cups, and what you're going to practice doing is setting them up and taking them down. 1, 2, 3, and then stacking. Unstack, and then stack. So we'll be doing this for a little bit. If you haven't started, go ahead and start. Unstack, stack. And this is just to get our hands warm. In the game of speed cups, speed stacking, you get used to putting your hands here on the sides to start, and then when you're done, put them down again to finish. So you'll see in between every time I'll put my hands down just to simulate that. Keep going with your 3 cups. If you can, once in a while, almost like you're dribbling around with a basketball, look up. Have confidence that those cups will be there. Look around while you're doing the activity. All right, now we're going to unstack these and stack that quick little pyramid, that little castle. Again, anytime if you'd like a sip of water, pause the video and grab a sip of water. So we're going to unstack and have our castle of 3, and then restack. Unstack, restack, and we're making our castle of 3 cups. If you haven't started, go ahead and start. As you get more comfortable, you will start going a little faster. And also, sometimes try unstacking the other direction. For instance, stop and look at me for a second. I will unstack this way to my right, and then restack. And then this time unstack the other way to my left, this way, and then restack. So I go one way, and then the other. So go ahead and try that too. Just if you need an extra challenge. If you don't need an extra challenge and you're working on your regular stacking, that is perfectly fine too. I'm a little older than most of you, so I'm a little more comfortable with doing this, having done this a few times before. And if a cup falls on the ground, rolls away, no problem, just grab it, come on back, recenter yourself and start again. All right, we're gonna move on to 5 cups now. Our 5 cups, we're just gonna start again with unstacking. Let me move this over here. We're gonna start again just with unstacking, and then restacking. Unstacking, and then restacking. And you can unstack any way you want. Maybe slide them over. If you feel comfortable dropping with one hand, that's one way to do it. If you want to do it from the middle like I was, just making sure you have room. If you do it from the middle, it's usually good to start right next to it and build out. But we're just going to take those 5 cups now, unstack them all the way, stack them back up. And if you haven't started, go ahead and start. stack and unstack with one hand or two hands. So try it all different ways. Try it maybe with one hand. Try it maybe with both hands. Keep going. Okay, go ahead and look at me now. When we unstack this time, our castle will look like this. So when we unstack now, it'll look like this. I'll restack first. So when I unstack, I know I have 3 on the bottom and 2 on top. And then I restack in the middle. So 3 cups on the bottom, 2 on top, and then I restack. Go ahead and start if you haven't. I'm building that castle now with the 5 cups. I know you want to get that extra one on top, but we'll get there, don't worry. And then put them back together. Again, if you want to put your hands down next to the cups in between every time, that's how they do it in the speed stacking world. There we go. Again, if you want to try with one hand, you can. If you want to be using both hands, obviously that's fine. Anything you are comfortable with right now. So stack those up. Build the castle. Stack them up. By now you're getting a little more comfortable with the shape of these cups. How easily, because they have those holes in the bottom, how easily they slide off from each other. If you're using real plastic cups, this is a little more difficult because they don't have the holes at the bottom. Please don't make them in the cups you are using. You're stacking and unstacking. All right, nice job. Now, again, if you want to pause it and grab some water, that's fine, go ahead. Now, we are going to build it all the way up like this. So let's count how many cones that takes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 cones. Very similar to when you go bowling, those 10 balls, or those 10 pins, excuse me. You have those 4 in the back, then 3, then 2, then that one up front. Our castle kind of looks like the bowling pins. Although we know that would look more like this. All right, so with our 10 cups now, we're going to stack them big and work on unstacking and stacking. You're going to need a lot of space because when you unstack, for my table, I don't have enough space to go all the way across with all of them. So I need to make sure I leave myself room to be able to unstack them all on my table. All right, so we're just first going to work on stacking and unstacking all 10 of your cups. Any way you want. We're just working on getting them flat and level. I know some of you are probably making that bowling design. Whoops, I lost one. Probably making that bowling design on the table itself. And then you stack it back up. If you haven't started, of course, start. It's Sometimes I'll take a handful at once, meaning I don't just take one at a time, I'll take 2, 3, 4 at a time, or I'll take half the stack and unstack them with both hands. And that's something you can do when you get more comfortable with these cups as well, is being able to stack and unstack with both hands. So keep stacking and unstacking. We're not going to build yet. We'll get there. We're not building yet. We'll get there. Keep going. All right, let's stack them up. And now we are going to make our pyramid. When we're making this shape again, 4 on the bottom, then 3, then 2, then 1 on top. So just to show you again what it looks like, 4 on the bottom, then 3, and you want to make sure they're on both cups, 2, 1. Then you'll, when you take them down, of course, grab the top one first. If I grab this one first, they're all going to go flying. So take that top one first. When you take them down to stack them, and I'll show you one more time what it looks like when it's built. Some of you have started already, that's fine. This is what it looks like when it's built, if you want to see one more time before you start. And then when I take it down, it looks like that. So go ahead and start if you haven't. 4 on the bottom, then 3, then 2, then 1. Go at your own pace again, your own speed, whatever you're comfortable with. We don't want cups flying around. Mistake there, which will happen. Sometimes the cups will just fall on themselves. Mine last time fell on themselves. Oops, I didn't put my hands down. There we go. Show the balance of it. Let's see. And you'll start to almost feel a flow when you take them down. If you turn your hand a little sideways like this with the cups, they will flow into each other as they go down. But this will all come with practice. Works on our hand-eye coordination. Sitting up straight, looking at what you're doing. Fumble. Again, if the cups fall, no problem, just grab them. Just start over. Oops. There we go. Well, all right, friends. I hope you had a good time stacking cups. Enjoy and stay active.